Waters are fast-moving.
Unlike other big rallies,
Cockpit earlier at about 7 a.m. A group from the Coast Guard.
Welcome to #PH Vote 2013.
Today on Rappler.
I expect that it's going to be very large and it's going to take very long because the damage, the destruction is extensive.
The government braces for billions in expenses for the biggest reconstruction effort since World War II. On the eve of the 4th anniversary of the Maguindanao Massacre, Malacanang hit statements tagging Aquino as the impunity king. And Rios trainer Robert Garcia says Manny Pacquiao is no longer the dangerous fighter he once was.
Hello, I'm Ai Makaraig, sitting in for Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. It is now 2 weeks after Typhoon Yolanda, international name Haiyan, hit the Philippines and destroyed whole cities in eastern Visayas. The death toll breaches the 5,000 mark. At least 5,209 people are dead. For survivors, the next steps are rehabilitation and rebuilding. How much will it cost and how long will it take for the people of the Visayas to get their lives back? Katerina Macau reports.
Billions in crops and buildings destroyed. Billions more needed for the biggest reconstruction effort since World War II. Interior Secretary Maroa says the president formed a special team to oversee rebuilding. He says it's too early to tell the amount they need.
I expect that it's going to be very large and it's going to take very long because the damage, the destruction is extensive and the people will need to be sustained with their food and shelter while they are rebuilding their lives and beginning to plant.
The government faces a massive challenge. Yolanda damaged at least 12.65 billion pesos in crops and infrastructure and affected over 10 million people, including 536,000 left homeless. This problem comes as the government faces public outrage. Critics protest the pork barrel, discretionary funds that became a source of corruption.
We know that the monies are available. We don't know how or what or from which departments, but the money is there. If there is in fact a need for supplementary budget, then they will make the proper appropriate filing.
Social Welfare Secretary Dinky Soliman says international groups can also help in funding.
In addition to what the government can actually provide, there are many other people, other organizations, especially bilateral, who are very interested.
From counting thousands of bodies, they now have to come up with the money to rebuild. They also need to put together the right blueprint so a region can rise again. Katerina Macau, Rappler, Tacloban City.
For its maiden voyage, the Philippine Navy's 40-year-old refurbished warship BRP Ramon Alcaraz sails to Leyte Gulf to help in rehabilitation efforts in typhoon-hit areas. The Hamilton-class cutter was originally acquired from the U.S. to monitor the South China Sea or the West Philippine Sea in the middle of tensions between Manila and Beijing.
By having two of the most capable ships that we will be having, this would provide us more areas to be able to cover simultaneously. And as you have seen and witnessed just a while ago, as we have commissioned here, we immediately sent her for our first maiden voyage. And with it is the action of helping and assisting the affected victims of Typhoon Yolanda.
Alcaraz is transporting 200 tons of relief goods, petroleum, water purification systems, and Navy personnel who will help rebuild devastated communities. The twin ship of Alcaraz, BRP Gregorio del Pilar, is already in Leyte working with the warships of foreign militaries. Malacanang turns over management of relief operations in storm-hit areas to local government units or LGUs. Communications Secretary Sonny Coloma says the national government will now focus on rehabilitation. The typhoon crippled the response of LGUs in hard-hit areas like Leyte and Eastern Samar. The president declared a state of national calamity as the national government took over relief operations. In the aftermath of the storm, the government drew flack over delays in the delivery of relief goods. Some said politics among local factions got in the way. Asked who was calling the shots, Interior Secretary Mar Roxas said there is no ground commander for overall relief operations. Roxas is the de facto vice chairman of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council or NDRRMC, while Defense Secretary Voltaire Gazmin serves as the chair. On Friday, Roxas says the worst is over.
Nalagpasan na natin yung pinakamahirap na bahagi nitong relief and recovery, immediate early recovery. Kung nung nakaraang linggo, masasabi natin ay nasa emergency room tayo, madalian, inaagapan natin, naging pasyente, ginagawa natin ang lahat para manatiling buhay ang pasyente. Kung nakaraang linggo, itong linggong ito naman, ay itong pangalawang linggo, ay masasabi natin na sa ICU tayo. No? Maselan pa rin, malubha pa rin ang kalagayan, pero stabilize.
The NDRRMC is mandated to be in charge of operations during calamities, but Coloma admits there was a lack of coordination between national and local officials. Aid is pouring in for victims of Typhoon Yolanda. But to get people back on their feet, survivors say what they need is livelihood. Voltaire Tupaz reports.
Jobless, homeless, and hungry, 25-year-old Rachel Asopre leaves Tacloban City with her 3 children. A wall of water destroyed their house in a coastal village during the typhoon. Rachel breathes a sigh of relief as soon as the barge docks at the Matnog port. But beyond the port, she doesn't know what awaits her.
Ano team binabalak at trabaho dito sa Kuana?
Before the typhoon, she sold fried chicken to earn a living. That is now over. The International Labour Organization reports at least 5.2 million workers lost their livelihood. International humanitarian groups are encouraging survivors to stay in their towns, for help is on the way.
They should not be that desperate, in the sense that moving around without a direction and landing in Villamor or landing elsewhere in Metro Manila or Cebu is not going to be that helpful.
Job creation ushers in recovery in affected areas. The ILO and the Department of Labor say emergency employment should be prioritized in disaster response. But they admit they lack funds. The exodus of people from Tacloban continues, even if international support is pouring in. Relief goods will not be enough. Experts say victims will continue to feel helpless and hopeless if they do not find a livelihood soon. Voltaire Tupaz, Rappler, Manila.
On the eve of the 4th anniversary of the Maguindanao Massacre, Malacanang called statements tagging President Aquino as the impunity king excessive and baseless. Media and human rights groups criticize the Aquino administration's record of media killings and supposed inaction in the Maguindanao Massacre, where 58 people were killed in the worst case of election-related violence in the country, allegedly masterminded by the Ampatuan clan. Responding to a pooled editorial of journalists and human rights advocates, Communications Secretary Sonny Coloma says the culture of impunity no longer exists. The editorial notes no perpetrator in the case has been convicted. 3 crucial witnesses were killed. Only 104 out of 195 accused have been read charges, while 88 suspects remain at large. Analysts say the trial could last 24 years. Coloma says the administration is working on improving investigation and prosecution. He adds, "We don't deny the process is slow, but let us take into account that it involves an unprecedented number of witnesses and motions. The United States will mark the 50th anniversary of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy on Friday, a dark turning point in the country's history. On November 22, 1963, the charismatic president was shot down as he was driven through Dallas, Texas in an open-top limousine. He was the fourth U.S. president to be killed in office, but the first whose death was caught on film. The crime stunned the world and traumatized the nation. Lee Harvey Oswald was tagged as the gunman, but conspiracy theorists continues to captivate doubters. President Barack Obama hailed Kennedy's legacy at a ceremony for recipients of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Obama says 50 years later, John F. Kennedy stands for posterity as he did in life, young, bold, and daring. He stays with us in our imagination not because he left us so soon, but because he embodied the character of the people he led. Let's now look at Rappler's Wrap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 7, a newly disclosed memorandum from whistleblower Edward Snowden reveals the U.S. National Security Agency is authorized to spy on British citizens. The New York Times reports the classified NSA document dated January 2005 states that under specific circumstances, the NSA may spy on Britons without their consent or knowledge. In recent months, allegations of NSA spying on allies Germany and France triggered international anger. The NSA did not answer questions on whether the memo became official policy and whether spying on Britain without its consent ever took place. The memo says the two countries reserve the right to spy on each other when it is in the best interest of each nation. At number 8, a Malaysian woman, an Irish woman, and a British woman are rescued from a house in South London. The BBC reports the victims were held as slaves for about 30 years. Group Freedom Charity contacted police after it received a call from a woman saying she had been held against her will for decades. Police arrested 2 people in connection with the case, but they were released on bail. And at number 10, more than 375,000 people signed an online petition urging South Africa to ban American Melissa Bachman into the country. Bachman is a hunter and host of her own TV show, Winchester Deadly Passion. Animal lovers are outraged by her safari exploits, in particular one photo that shows her rifle in hand, kneeling and smiling behind a lion she shot and killed. But a conservation group defends her on social media, saying it will not apologize for facilitating her lion shoot in South Africa's Northwest Province. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. A U.S. federal jury orders Samsung to pay $290 million in damages to Apple in a partial retrial of a patent case involving the 2 smartphone manufacturers. The award revises the $450 million in damages originally granted in the landmark suit but thrown out by a judge. This is in addition to nearly $600 million in patent infringement damages upheld from the trial in 2012. Apple says, quote, "This case has always been more than about patents and money. It has been about innovation and the hard work that goes into inventing products that people love." Apple accuses Samsung of massive and willful copying of its designs and technology for smartphones and tablets. The South Korean company won the landmark case in August 2012, but the case has been on hold pending multiple appeals. 2 days before the clash in Cotai in Macau on Sunday, Brandon Rios trainer Robert Garcia says Manny Pacquiao is no longer as dangerous as he used to be. Natasha Gutierrez reports.
It's the calm before the storm. Brandon Rios trains for the last time 3 days before fight night. His opponent, Filipino Manny Pacquiao, attends his Christian fellowship. Nothing intense for these two fighters as they rest for their face-off Sunday, November 24. How will the two fare in the ring? This weekend's bout promises to be a slugfest. Both Rios and Pacquiao are known aggressors in the ring. They are relentless attackers who don't run away from their opponents. Rios, the underdog, is bigger than Pacquiao. He loves throwing punches. He hits his opponent from close range. Known for his strong chin, Rios can take punches. Pacquiao's trainer Freddie Roach isn't worried.
Body shots are key, yes they are. I think that he is having trouble making weight. He's still wearing plastics in workouts. This is his first time fighting at 147. He's never really felt the power or the speed of Manny Pacquiao. I don't think this is that hard a fight.
Pacquiao is known for his speed and power-packed punches. Because he's fast, he hits his opponents from an angle, catching them off guard. Trainer Robert Garcia says Rios is ready for Pacquiao's legendary speed.
The way Brandon trained and the way Brandon's thinking and the mentality that he's got, I'm also very comfortable.
He also says Pacquiao is past his prime.
3 years ago, a lot of things have changed. Since then, Manny's not the same fighter. Then he comes and fights Marcus, and he not only got knocked out really bad, but he got dropped earlier that the fight. So nobody thought Manny would ever be in that situation, and he was there.
Roach disagrees. He insists his fighter is in his best form ever, predicting a knockout within 6 rounds.
If Manny showed any signs of slippage in training camp, I would be the first one to tell him it's time to quit. And it's not time yet, for sure. And I feel, I'm glad that, I hope they have confidence. I hope they're overconfident because Manny's going to destroy this guy.
Both are looking for a comeback. Pacquiao lost his last 2 fights, while Rios tasted defeat last March. 2 relentless fighters, 2 reputations on the line. Expect war on fight night. After months of training, it all comes down to this: who will throw the punch that will cut short their opponent's dreams? Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Macau.
American Idol Season 11 runner-up Jessica Sanchez is excited to sing the Philippine national anthem at Manny Pacquiao's fight versus Brandon Rios. Natasha Gutierrez returns with this video blog.
As weeks of training end for fighters who retreat to some rest and silence before the big night, the rest of Macau comes alive. Fans, celebrities, and media from all over the world start to arrive at Asia's gambling mecca. There's only 2 days left until fight night, and the electricity in the air is palpable. Among the celebrities in the house, singer Jessica Sanchez, who was asked by Manny Pacquiao on Twitter to sing the Philippine national anthem for the fight. Sanchez arrives from Los Angeles, excited to be here for the first time. She picks Pacquiao to win the fight.
He's gonna win. Manny's gonna win. I'm just telling you right now.
She says she plans to visit the Philippines next week and hopes to do some charity work for Super Typhoon Haiyan's victims.
I mean, I hope all of you guys are safe. I hope you guys are all taking care of yourselves, and I'll be coming there.
Football star David Beckham is also in Macau and plans to watch the fight. He too roots for Pacquiao. In the Philippines, the local government of hard-hit Tacloban City will broadcast Pacquiao's fight for Typhoon victims for free. Singer-songwriter Alicia Keys will also be in Cotai for a concert, while other boxers like Miguel Cotto are also here to witness the bout. One thing is for certain: when boxing promoter Bob Arum said this fight night would be just like the past ones in Las Vegas, he wasn't lying. Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Macau.
Every story on Rappler has a mood meter which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also gives you the top 10 stories that got the most clicks. After weeks of stories that made people feel sad or angry, we have a lot of green circles on the mood navigator. Here, Pope Francis hugs Tagle, the Manila Archbishop, prays for storm-hit Philippines. It has 88% of people feeling inspired, 6% happy. Anderson Cooper, an honor to report on the Philippines, 76% inspired. And the story that got the most votes, 8 features of a typhoon-resistant house, 62% inspired, 16% happy. All contributing to the mood of the day. Today, most people are inspired. That's Rappler's newscast for today, Friday, November 22nd, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch your newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Haiyan, and as we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today. We leave you with images of the barbershop of Giwan from Patricia Evangelista.
Kapag may gustong ikwento yung tao sa barbero, doon yung bagsakan kasi ng mga chismosa. Nung mangyari ang bagyo, kaya wala man sila mapagkwentuhan dahil wala mang barbershop, ngayon na lang may bubong. Ngayon, nagugupit po ulit. Ganun pa rin yung mga kwento na nangyari, kung anong pinagdaanan, ganun pa rin. Dahil kahit papano, kahit mahirap yung kalagayan, nagpapapogi pa man rin yung mga tao. Kahit daw walang bahay, basta pogi, para hindi nadadala ng tungkot. Bago yung Yolanda, nakapunta na kami sa mga safety lugar. Natakot kami dahil yung hangin malakas, tapos yung mga bubong lahat nagliliparan na. Sabi ko, wala, nakatapusan na siguro ito. Iniisip ko, wala, bahala na kung anong mangyari. Nung matapos yung bagyo, nandiyan man lang ako sa harapan. Wala, yung unang tinignan ko, yung barbershop, wala na talaga. Pati upuan ko, sira. Wala lahat, pangarap sa buhay, wala na siguro. Pagkakaalam ko po dito sa Giwan, maraming namatay. Tsaka yung mga nasugatan dahil nung matapos yung bagyo, sa harapan namin may nakikita kami mga taong patay na dinadala papuntang sementeryo. Pinapasan. Mga tao dito, pagkatapos ng Yolanda, wala kang makikitang mukha na tumatawa. Pero ngayon na medyo may haligi ng tumatayo, baga okay na rin. Simula na ng buhay ulit. Sabi ko, wala lang to, babangon ulit. Buhay pa naman. Nung pagkatapos po ng bagyo, maraming nagtatanong sa akin kung magugupit na raw ako. Sabi ko, hindi pa, kaya wala pa man tayong maupan, wala tayong masisilungan. Kitayo muna daw kuno kahit mahirap yung kalagayan natin, basta pogi pa rin tayo. Yung mga bagsak na kahoy, inipon, yun ulit yung pinangtayo. Sa ngayon na nakatayo na ako ng kuwan, may bubong na, marami nang nagpapagupit. Ay, hindi nasira yung gunting ko. Dahil bago ng bagyo, pinadala ko kay Mrs., pinalagay ko sa silopit para hindi mabasa. Wala nang salamin. Mabuti at walang salamin dahil yung maarte, hindi na makakapagreklamo. Ako ngayon dahil sa siguro medyo na nakakapagkuhan na, nakakahanap ng konting pera, okay na rin. Sa ngayon, yung pera may nabibili na rin, gasolina, sa motor, masasakyan, isda. Yun lang yung mga pangangailangan. Sa ngayon, yung pangarap ko, yung may tayo ko lang ulit yung bahay ko, makapagpundar ulit ng hanap buhay. Kaya ng Giwan tumayo ulit. Ang mga taga-Giwan po, malalakas yung loob, hindi yan aatras. Huli nang umangat yung Giwan, kaya ngayon, hindi nabibitiw yan. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin yan. Pag tumigil tayo, patay. Sasabay tayo na Yolanda. Kahit mawala yung bahay namin, mawala yung kuwan, basta yung gunting ko, hawak ko pa rin. Buhay pa rin ako.